We've talked about the idea of what I call back pocket residence permits, a residence program in another country where you go and make an investment, whether it's money in the bank, government bonds, buying a property, making some kind of investment without much sunk cost and without much requirement to live there that you can keep in your back pocket. And so today, I'm going to share with you 7 residence programs in Europe that you can keep in your back pocket and not change your lifestyle to maintain. Hi, I'm Andrew Henderson here at Nomad Capitalist. Myself, my team of 30 people, and our global network help 7- and 8-figure entrepreneurs legally go where you're treated best. You can learn more at nomadcapitalist.com. And today I want to talk about back pocket residence options in Europe. A lot of folks, especially in 2020, have asked, how do I get into Europe? I would like to have the option. My passport no longer allows me to visit Europe. I want to be able to go there, but I have a business, I have a life, I have a family in the US or Canada or Australia, etc., or soon to be the UK. And I don't want to commit to living in some other country for 4 months or 5 months or 6 months a year. I don't want to complicate my taxes or cause my taxes to go up by living in some other country, but I'm willing to make some kind of investment. And so the first thing that I would look at, and probably the most common thing for a back pocket residence where you're not really spending much time, if any at all, feeding and maintaining that residence permit, is Europe's golden visa programs. I'll go through 5 of them. The first one, and the most commonly talked about one perhaps, being in Portugal. You make an investment in Portugal, real estate, funds, banks, stocks, what have you, hire some people, you get residence in Portugal, you get an attractive citizenship, you're spending as little as 1 week in the country. And so you can do that. You can have all the privileges of being a European resident. If you are from a country that has a not so great passport, what we call a T or C passport, that not only allows you to get in and travel around Europe, but there are other countries that you might not have visa-free access to where now, such as Serbia, for example, or El Salvador, where your European residence permit may serve as an alternate visa. And so Portugal being one that's common, 7 days per year, starting at about 280,000 euros investment for most folks. Another popular golden visa program, one I don't recommend as much because of some of the tax requirements around owning property there, is Greece. It is perhaps the cheapest real estate golden visa program in Europe with a 250,000 euro investment in real estate. And you've got a bit more flexibility than Portugal is going to offer going forward. You can buy multiple properties. You can buy them pretty much anywhere in the country. 250,000 euros. You can also buy government bonds, put money in the bank. You can do stuff like that. And while Greece is going to be a harder passport to obtain for a number of reasons, your time in the country is basically 1 day a year. Same is the case for Ireland, which is an interesting country in that it is not in the borderless Schengen area. So if you do not have access to the Schengen area, or you temporarily do not have access because of restrictions on travel, then that's not going to solve that problem. However, you have some travel freedom with Ireland and the UK, and you have an English-speaking country which offers some tax-friendly lifestyle options if you were ever to live there. And so Ireland's program requires an investment from 1 million euros on up, depending on whether you want to invest in REITs, whether you invest in funds, whatever the case may be. They have, as many of these programs have, limited it over the last number of years to where you can't buy a house anymore. So now you have to be putting your capital more at risk. It's a more expensive program owing to the fact that it is English speaking. It is not accessible from the Schengen area. And so that is a program that from 1 million euros on up, or through making a donation, you can get residence, spend 1 day a year. It's not going to get you citizenship, but it will be in your back pocket. Another program in the Schengen area, Latvia, up-and-coming country, not as flexible as Greece, but same investment level, 250,000 euros. You can also put your money with a bank, 280,000 euros. And basically what will happen is you don't really need to be in the country, but you will just need to renew your temporary residence every 5 years. So you're not going to get to permanent residence. You're going to have a small fee to pay every 5 years to keep renewing that. And so you're not going to become a citizen of Latvia, but you're going to have a more tax-friendly country that's smaller, that's looking for investment, that's not a Western country. Perhaps some people feel more comfortable with that, or they just like the climate, so they want a more northern climate. Even though you do have some travel flexibility within Europe, they want to have their residents be in that more northern climate. Latvia can fit that bill. And then lastly, Cyprus, also not part of the Schengen area for now. They have a program, 300,000 euros in real estate, potentially down to 150, 30,000 euros in the bank, plus proof of some income, and you get a golden visa there. Again, pretty much, just show up whenever you want. It's not going to lead to citizenship, but that's an option for having access to Cyprus if you want to be somewhere in the Mediterranean. Other countries, such as Montenegro, have become more strict. Montenegro, not an EU country, but have become more strict with renewing residence for folks who are just holding on to it as a back pocket option. So things are always changing. Elsewhere in Europe, in Eastern Europe, Ukraine, $100,000 into a company that buys real estate. You can buy a home, you can buy an office, you can buy a rental property. If you do that properly, there are a few extra steps that you need to take to qualify for the permanent residence. You can do that. You can keep that permanent residence as long as you are in that country 1 day per year. Also of interest, Gibraltar, tiny little speck at the south of Spain. First went there when I was 8 years old. Very interesting place. If you have 2 million British pounds in wealth and you buy a home or you rent a home, you can show acceptable accommodation, you can get a residence permit in Gibraltar. What's interesting about Gibraltar is they also have a tax residence option with basically a lump sum tax payment. So you can live in Gibraltar. For some investors, the lump sum tax payment could potentially be basically zero, but you have a back pocket option for your back pocket. So if you have residence in Gibraltar and you ever wanted to leave, it's certainly a pretty small place to live. But if you ever wanted to live there, longer term, you could use that tax residence as an option to leave your current country for tax purposes for most people. So those are 7 countries in Europe that you can go and establish residence. You can show your wealth, you can invest your wealth, put money in the bank, buy some property, and without a lot of ongoing hassle, keep a residence permit, theoretically in perpetuity, that gives you, in many of these cases, access to most of the European continent without, generally speaking, tax hassles, without the need to be there. It's no muss, no fuss, access to Europe. They're looking for your investments and they will give you that back pocket access in exchange. How can Nomad Capitalist help you? 4 ways. Number 1, subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell to make sure you get our new video every day. Number 2, get a copy of Nomad Capitalist, the book. You'll learn a lot of my personal experiences over a dozen years of studying this stuff, as well as exactly some of the strategies that you can use to build your Nomad Capitalist plan. Number 3, if you're not sure where to start, but you want to come and learn from my team and I, you want to come and mingle with like-minded people, learn more about our live conference, Nomad Capitalist Live. It's coming up soon. And number 4, if you want some help right now because you've got a burning issue, you need something solved, you want to lower your taxes, get a second passport, or build the Nomad Capitalist lifestyle of your dreams, go to nomadcapitalist.com and click on Become a Client.